Warning: this presentation may be taken down at any moment. Don't miss the surprises at the very end.
Are you looking for a long-term commitment from a man, but feel like you are getting the runaround? Maybe you're with a man now and wondering if he's the one. Or are you in a relationship now that you feel deep down inside is falling apart? Is your current dating strategy getting you nowhere? Hello, my name is Greg Mason, and in this short video I want to show you how you can use simple techniques to get any man to fall for you literally in 90 days or less. According to a new study out of Great Britain, 25% of men fall in love in seconds. And not only do they fall in love sooner than women, but in the United States alone, researchers have discovered 3 times more men than women were the first to even say the words "I love you" in a relationship, while most women said it took several months. So what is the big secret? How are these women able to win the hearts of their men, while the great majority of women still struggle with just finding the right one, or even getting a commitment from the one they have? The answer is knowledge. The buttons to push on a man are already embedded in his mind. It's just a matter of knowing what techniques to use and unlock them. Just by pushing a few emotional hot buttons, you can actually influence him over to your way of thinking. It's just a matter of knowing the rules, playing the game, and winning the man. Sadly, most women are clueless about what makes men tick. In this day and age of dating and relationships, it can be very exhausting and challenging, especially for women trying to find a soulmate. Here are the top common nightmares many women face with men in relationships. 1. All talk and no action. These are the men who say they are going to do something but don't follow through. Some good examples include telling you he will call and not picking up the phone. An even better example is telling you he is ready for a relationship, but his actions completely prove otherwise. 2. Not knowing what he really wants. This is really one of the biggest complaints many women have about men. He tells you he is truly ready for commitment, pursues you, and then all of a sudden freaks out or backs out of it with a bunch of lame excuses. 3. It's all about me. Have you ever dated a guy who is downright self-absorbed and self-centered? You want him to take an interest in you and pay attention to the things you like and what is going on in your life, but somehow the conversation always revolves around him. As we all know, for a relationship to be successful, both people must give of themselves. 4. Too much boy, not enough man. These are the men who have no sense of direction. There is definitely a time and place for having fun and being childlike, but at some point it's time to grow up. The refusal to grow up and be responsible is a very tough pill for most women to swallow. 5. Unfaithful men. This can be a tough one. Studies reveal that 50 to 60% of men have engaged in an affair at one time or another during their relationships. Undoubtedly, past cheating behavior is the most reliable predictor for future cheating behavior, but often the women in their lives have no clue of what they did. The list of nightmares women face in relationships can go on and on and on. Well, worry no more, ladies. No matter what is going on in your love life right now or in the past, today you can have an unfair advantage over 99% of the women in today's dating world and turn the game of men and relationships around in your favor. How, you may wonder? In my new program, The Game of Men, How to Make a Man Fall in Love with You in 90 Days or Less, I will show you a few strategies you can use to get the man you desire to fall for you, and best of all, think that it was all his idea. Here are some of the techniques you will learn. How to get a man to speak and open up his heart. Find out what's buried deep down inside of any man with a few simple strategies. Men and women communicate in totally different ways when it comes to discussing problems, and they both have unique needs. A woman may desire to share her feelings openly and more often than a man. A man, on the other hand, may try to preserve the peace by solving problems quickly and avoiding the serious issues at hand. How men fall in love. In this chapter, we are going to be talking about how men fall in love. The way a man falls in love is way different than the way a woman falls in love. It all has to do with how we as men are wired up. Let's just take a quick glimpse into how a man's brain is wired up. According to Matthew Boggs, best-selling author of the book entitled Cracking the Man Code, a man's brain is completely compartmentalized. This means that his brain is divided into several sections or categories. It is like a giant apartment complex. Men have one compartment for each thing in their lives. They have one compartment for the money they make, one for seeing, one for hearing, one for eating, one for their car, one for you, a giant penthouse compartment for sex, one for his feelings, one for sports, and on and on. The trick is that a man can only be in one compartment at a time, whereas a woman's brain is completely connected to everything she sees and feels around her. How to get a man to do anything you want with a few simple words. When dealing with most men, the best persuasion method is you. The truth of the matter is most men want to be around and do things for their women. In this chapter, we talk about how you can use femininity to your advantage and get nearly anything you want from him. The body language of men. How to tell if he is attracted to you. The body language of men. How to tell if a man is lying to you. If you are out on a date or you have been in a relationship for a while, this chapter goes into depth about telltale signs that your man might not be coming correct with you. For instance, how he uses his hands and palms when he is talking to you. When a man talks with his palms open, it is usually a sign that he is being truthful. But if he has been talking to you with his palms open and then all of a sudden, as you ask more good questions, his hands or palms disappear under his armpits, behind his back, or in his pockets, then that might be a good sign that he is lying to you at that point. The dating game. How to tell if he's the one for you. When you were a little girl, did you ever have a crush on anyone in school, perhaps a teacher or athlete? But as you got older, your perception began to change. For instance, you started to realize that the cutest guy at the school may not be that entirely goal-oriented, or that the most popular boy in class may not be all that trustworthy. This section speaks on looking at your potential man objectively. At times, we as human beings might be tempted to see only what we want to see. This chapter goes into what makes a good man and how you would know this man is right for you. Choosing a good man is somewhat like purchasing a car. The outside might look good, but if you do not look deeper inside the engine, you might end up with a lemon. The kinds of women most men fall in love with. Here's a hint, most of the time it's not the celebrity or model types that society claims. According to a survey of over 100 men in committed relationships that lasted 10 years and over, the real answer might actually shock you. Getting the commitment. The 8 magic words that will stop him in his tracks. If you are in a relationship now and you need closure on where your relationship is going, there is some great advice for you in this section. If there is one thing that real men fear besides marriage, that is letting the woman of his life walk in and out of it. In this chapter, you will learn exactly what it is you need to say to put everything to a halt and make a man think about what he has to lose or gain with you. How long should you wait before expecting a proposal? Warning, the answer might surprise you. Sometimes there are situations where you can be dating a particular man for a numerous amount of months and he still procrastinates on the subject of marriage or commitment. If you feel like you are in a relationship that is drawn out and you are tired of playing the waiting game, this section will go into depth on what you need to do to bring everything to a halt. Now would be a good time to put everything on the line before you waste any more of your time. How to be the woman your man loves. Should you pursue the man? Many women ask the question, should I pursue the man, or do men even like to be pursued? Well, the answer to that is yes. In fact, a man loves to be pursued because it feeds his ego, but the problem lies in a man's way of thinking. After you have reached out, pursued a guy, and got his number and left, you have now taken on the role of masculinity. It deflates all of the anticipation for him to go and pursue you and ultimately win your favor. So in this chapter, you are going to learn a few tips on how to pursue the man and still remain on the feminine side and have him turn around and chase you. Toxic relationships. How to handle the users, losers, and abusers. Here, you will learn powerful techniques for getting the jerks out of your life so the real men can step in. To be emotionally and mentally healthy, you cannot be naive about relationships. Some men are positive and bring out the best in you, while others can suck optimism and serenity right out of you. To protect your dignity and energy, however, it is very important to know and understand what identifies a potentially toxic relationship and how you can avoid it. In this chapter, we are going to identify a few types of men you may encounter as you go off into the dating world and what signs to watch out for when choosing a long-term relationship. And all this is just a tip of the iceberg. In the game of men, how to make a man fall in love with you in 90 days or less. You will learn so much more on being ahead in the dating game and what makes men tick when it comes to love, commitment, and intimacy. After testing this program on the market back in early October of 2013, here are a few of some of the testimonials received about it. I'll just read a few. Elizabeth writes, "In Game of Men, How to Make a Man Fall in Love in 90 Days or Less, Greg Mason tackles the self-help genre with a book that focuses on the psyche of men, how they fall in love, and how to keep them in love with you. It is certainly beneficial that the Game of Men is written by a man instead of woman. This fact alone lends some credibility to Mason's advice as you move from chapter to chapter. Of course, some of the content you will have probably heard before. What modern women's magazine does not publish articles on how to win men? However, here it is all compiled into one book and written from the perspective of a man. The value of that alone cannot be denied." Emma Parker writes, "After so many failed relationships, Greg Mason, author, points me in the right direction. Boy, what a pain I must have been to all my past would-be partners for life. Now I can have them hanging off my every word and begging to see me again. It'll be fun being in the driver's seat for a change." Jack writes, "A quality read along with audio included. The book is filled with classic tips on making men fall at your feet. And if you wanted to reassure yourself on pulling your ideal partner, then this could be a good read for you. Likewise for men, some of the tips inside are just as equally transferable to women. Would recommend." So with all that being said, how much does this all cost? Well, we have some good news and bad news. First, the bad news. How to Make a Man Love You in 90 Days or Less is legitimately a $127 program with the bonuses and audiobooks included. It's priced at $127 because of the depth of training and because of the results many women have had using this program. Also, this program is only for women who are truly serious about being in an incredible relationship with the right man who truly loves them from his heart and is willing to commit to her on all levels. But because you took part in this special presentation today, I want to do something very special for you. So here is the good news. First, I'm going to cut your enrollment fee in the program from $127 to just $97. For less than $100, you can finally get the man phase of your life handled and have your Mr. Right sweeping you up into his arms and never let you go. And here is the best news you've heard all week. Here is the news that's going to change your love life forever and finally get you the real love you deserve. If you have watched this far through the presentation, I know it's because you want this. You want a relationship where your man goes out of his way to look after you, protect you, satisfy your every little desire, and want to be with you for the rest of his life. You want the power of turning around the very man who was acting distant or uninterested to now have him suddenly come back running to you, wrapping his arms around you, and hugging you so tight that it almost hurts. Just imagine having the power of turning around the very man who wasn't sure about you, but now wants to get on one knee to put a big shiny ring around your finger and make it official. And I want you ladies to have that power too. So what I'm about to do now might be a little selfish. You see, as a guy myself, I want more women out there to know and understand how we think as men. So the only way I can do that is by making this program so affordable that nearly anyone can grab it. So for as long as this video is up, and it can come down at any time, I'll let you have How to Make a Man Fall in Love with You in 90 Days or Less, not for $127, not for $97, heck, not even for $67. If you act right now, you'll get the complete training for just one single payment of $47 today. Plus, to make this a no-brainer for you, I'll flat out give you these two bonuses at no extra charge. First, you are going to get How to Make a Man Love You in 90 Days or Less with the audio version of the program included, so you can listen to it on your iPod, iPad, iPhone, or any other electronic device. Next, you are going to get another one of my latest books called The Ex-Love Factor: How to Get the Ex-Boyfriend or Girlfriend Back into Your Life. This also comes with a link to a free video at the end. You will get a copy of the first book I wrote prior to this one called How to Make Him or Her Fall in Love with You. This book gives you both perspectives on what makes men and women tick in relationships. If you are a man reading this, you will learn things like 12 things most women want that guys don't know about, 7 romantic moves that will set her passions ablaze, 3 tips on impressing a woman on a date. All of this is yours absolutely free just for enrolling and trying out How to Make a Man Fall in Love with You in 90 Days or Less right now. Plus, I have one more bonus video for you on the inside that I'm not going to even begin to tell you about. Now, I don't want to be mean here, but this could be your last chance to get the man and the love you deserve. I think we both know about women who can never figure this man thing out. We all know of women who end up angry and bitter at the men they settled for, who never gave them the love they wanted so much. We know of women who spend their lives away trying to capture a man only to end up completely alone with no love at all in their lives. Well, I don't want you to be one of those women. You can have that one special guy, your Mr. Right, your one and only. All you have to do is click the button below this video to enroll in this program right now. Find out for yourself how easy it is to become irresistible to that one guy you so desperately want, and open up the door to the love and life you have wanted for so long. And here is my promise to you. It's my 100% no-hassle money-back guarantee. And here's how it works. Just say maybe to this program, and I personally guarantee that if you make an honest effort to try just a few of the proven techniques, you will begin to start seeing results in your relationship in no time. You will learn to use your amazing new insights into men and experience for yourself how guys just look at you and treat you differently once you put this into action. If for any reason at all you decide that this program isn't for you, within the next 8 weeks, just contact ClickBank or my customer support team at info@thegameofmen.com, and I will refund your money right on the spot, no questions asked. Plus, the bonus gifts are yours to keep regardless, just for your trouble. So why am I willing to be so generous in this guarantee? Because I want this for you. Imagine how satisfying it will be when the very man who didn't care about you and neglected you tells you how special you are and how blessed he is to have you in his life. I want you to have the easy, passionate relationship you deserve. But it's decision time, and this really could possibly be the most important decision of your life. See, you are at a crossroads right now, and you've really got 2 options. Option 1. You can leave this page and ignore that feeling deep down inside your heart. Go back to the yearning and heartbreak you have now. A life where men are confusing, where you pine over that great guy who just doesn't seem to notice you, where you give your heart to the wrong men and end up bruised, beaten, or sad. You can do that if you want to. But if you have watched this far into the video, then you know that what you're doing now just isn't working. You can feel yourself yearning for more, and you deserve more. Which brings us to option 2. Take this one tiny action today by simply clicking on the button right below this video and dive into this incredible program for getting the man you deserve. Feel the change in yourself as you wake up to the truth about men and what makes them fall in love. Transform the way you look at dating and relationships. Become that one irresistible beacon that men you've dreamed of for so long can't resist. Again, all you have to do is click the button below, enroll in the program, and find out for yourself what it's like to understand men and have an incredible relationship. Thank you so much. Now, let me answer some questions you might have so you can make an informed decision. You may be asking, how do I know it's safe? We get this question all the time, and I understand it fully. The internet is indeed a scary place, and by all means it's good to be a little skeptical when purchasing things online with all the fraud and scams going around. But we use a well-known system called ClickBank to process our orders. ClickBank is a privately held online marketplace for digital information products. It aims to serve as a connection between digital content creators and affiliate marketers who then promote them to consumers. As a leading retailer of digital products, ClickBank also relies on their return and cancellation policy to ensure customer satisfaction with every purchase. When a customer contacts them by phone or email, their initial response is to assist in getting technical support or customer service for the customer from the vendor of the product that the customer purchased. In some cases, when a product is unsatisfactory to the customer for reasons completely beyond their control, a return or a cancellation may be processed. Some people have asked us, how do I get the program? And is there something actually sent to my house? Well, thanks to computers, technology, and the internet, for this program you only have to pay your one-time enrollment fee of $47, and then you are sent to a download page where you can download the contents right onto your desktop or wherever you are at the time. Once downloaded, you can comfortably enjoy your program from your iPad, laptop, or computer anywhere at any time. Again, my name is Greg Mason, author of How to Make a Man Fall in Love with You in 90 Days or Less, and I want to thank you for spending this time with me. I certainly hope you'll grab your copy today and give yourself the experience of discovering a deeper intimacy and knowledge of men that many women have never known before. And with this power, we wish you a more enjoyable, fulfilling relationship now and for many years to come. This has been a pleasure. Take care, and God bless.